Hello, my dear, and thank you for checking on me today. I suddenly realized, because I was scrolling my phone pictures to find a certain picture for my friend, I realized that maybe you don't know how my Ukraine looks like. So today, instead of sad pictures that you see on news, I will show you the pictures of my Ukraine. The pictures of Ukraine I love. The pictures of Ukraine we have lost. It is sad to see all these peaceful pictures and to remember everything that was here before the war, because now everything is gone. They stole it from us. They destroyed everything. They killed people. That's the worst. But I want you to know what is Ukraine actually, and how beautiful it was, and I want you to understand why we are fighting and what do we want to have back. Maybe it wouldn't be the same. I'm sure it would never be the same, but I want this Ukraine back. And this week I want to start with a poem written by 92 years old Lina Kostenko. I told you about her right before the war. She went through the Second World War. She went through the Soviet occupation after it. She was a dissident. She met the Ukrainian independence, and she wasn't writing for so long. And she lives in Kiev, the city that is bombed now. Kiev is bombed as well as all other Ukrainian cities, and Lina Kostenko is back for her writing because she wants to support the boys who are now in the army, and she wants to support all of us. They stole the last years of a great poet. They stole this time of her life too. They stole our lives, even for those who survived. Our best years are just gone now. So let's read together the lines written by Lina Kostenko for the soldiers to whom she gave her books as a gift for the front line. І жах, і кров, і смерть, і відчай, і клекіт хижої орди. Маленький сірий чоловічок накоїв чорної біди. Це звір огидної породи, лохнес холодної неви. Куди ж ви дивитесь, народи? Сьогодні ми, а завтра ви. I want you to remember these exact lines. And I want to tell you a little bit more about this last week, because I know that you're worried. And this week it was hard in terms of bombing. In Dnipro, in my hometown, other two bombs hit their targets. And there is a big destruction here too. And I heard the explosions multiple times. Several rockets were hit on the air. Luckily, only two of them actually hit the targets. And in Dnipro now, the volunteers are arranging the help to the refugees. There are more refugees who are coming from Mariupol. And for example, I personally, because of the donations, was able to buy the tourniquets I was talking about. And if you're reading my diary, you know that I bought them, and you saw the picture. And one of my friends who actually helping and supporting me, he asked what the tourniquet is. So the tourniquet is such a thing which you use for blood stopping. It is a local copy of the tourniquets they do in NATO, and you need to put it, and you need to be able to stop the blood and all these things. It's like the thing of basic training, and this small thing is just to make it tighter on your arm or leg. And the thing that strikes me a lot is that a wounded person, can be dead within 1 minute if he or she doesn't get the professional help, and the tourniquets are making this process of stopping the blood faster if you know how to use it proper. And this is a local copy, but it's quite a good one according to what I heard. The professional militaries, they have the 15 seconds schedule, like the 15 seconds for putting it. But the problem here is that not everybody knows how to use them, despite the basic trainings, and not everybody in the military has them. And our counting is 1 for 10 people, but for example, for NATO soldiers, our is 1 for 10, and NATO is 2 tourniquets for 1 soldier. And that's obviously what we have is not enough, and even such blood-stopping things, they're kind of essential, so that's something we are going to donate to people whom we know who are now on the front line. And there are also help from here and there, and the international help is distributed now. Probably you've heard this big scandal around the Red Cross, for example. That's why I'm not very trustable to the big organizations, despite they do a great work. But for example, in my city, I haven't seen the help from the Red Cross, but they want to help Russians to basically enslave our people, and that's something ridiculous. But anyway, there are many other big organizations from many other countries whose help are actually arriving, and I saw some help with my eyes, so now it's a little bit better in Dnipro. Again, Dnipro is the last point where the help comes, but it is easier now, which is kind of comforting. And also the occupiers tried to invade my region, Dnipro region, a lot. Many soldiers died, including our soldiers, of course. But they failed. But these distant villages, they have this constant shootings, the houses are trembling, and the situation is still very serious. That's basically what's going on, and they say that in order to have a habit, you need 21 days. Yesterday it was the 31st day of war, and I cannot say that I have the habit. It's something that still is unbelievable, and something that strikes me so much when you live here, when you hear the stories, when you hear the bombings, when you hear the shots. It's something that you cannot really get used to easily. So maybe this 21 days before you get used to something, it is not working in this particular situation. But still, I believe we will win, my opinion, and I believe that everybody who is guilty for doing these crimes, including Russian soldiers, including Russian generals, including all commanders and all performers, they should not just go away from Ukraine, but they also should be punished, as well as everybody who supports this war. Because one of my students told me about his Russian friend who is kind of a believer. I cannot understand how you can believe in God. And at the same time, she says that, yeah, war is bad, but there are natives there. So if you want to find the Ukrainian nationalist, Bandera stuff and everything, you can just look at me, because I love my country, and I'm doing something in order to protect my life. And they support killing people like me and trying to kill me, including saying that nothing is that straightforward. So all these people saying that nothing is that straightforward and we are fighting the nationalism in Ukraine, they are liars, and they are trying to cover their crimes in Ukraine. By now, every foreign soldier in Ukraine knows what he or she is doing here. Every one of them and each of them. So it's not only about stopping the fire now, it's also about the punishment. So other people for the other generations should know that if you kill somebody in such a cruel way, using these chemical bombs, using cassette bombs, using fugas bombs, is not okay. We should set an example for future, because now in Ukraine, again, we are fighting not only for ourselves, we are fighting for the better future and for the democracies in the whole world. And for today, another poem I prepared to share with you is the poem actually written for this war. If you remember Donetsk airport, it was a big battle, and Ukrainian defenders they stayed there even after the airport itself was completely destroyed. And the battle for the airport, it was the worst before this escalation started in February, on the 24th of February. And this exact poem, it concentrates the feeling of a soldier, and as for me, it shows you the true image of a Ukrainian fighter who is now trying to protect his land, to protect the lives of his families, and to actually, he fights for, not for the better future, he fights for the existence of the future in his country. So let's read it together. Тетяна Власова, я не кіборг, я вчитель історії. Я не кіборг, я вчитель історії. Багато читав про війни. Тут таких, як я, 1100. І їм дуже хочеться бути вільними. Я приїхав туди, де ціляться, хоч ніхто мене не просив. Я не кіборг, я хлопець із Вінниці. В мене скоро народиться син. Кажуть, кожен тут буде і був, і є, хоч соромляться. Всі герої. Я ж не кіборг, удома я був водієм і ніколи не чистив зброї. Ми за тих, хто далеко десь там внизу божеволіє від напруги. Я не кіборг, я плачу, коли несу покалічене тіло друга. Що нам культи осіб і чужих богів? Вся країна із дня у день щиро молиться не за кіборгів, за звичайних своїх людей. Those who are defending Ukraine right now, they are not all the professional fighters. In fact, the majority of them has never hold the gun in their hands before the war has started. And among them, the majority of people are volunteers. They simply want to protect their land. They don't want this war. They all want to be drivers, history teachers, me including. I'm a teacher. I want to go back to my teaching work full-time, not part-time as now. And we all just want to live. Regretfully, for many people, they don't have the places to come back. Their houses, their homes are destroyed. Hiroshima was destroyed 60% after the nuclear bombing. Mariupol is destroyed 80% already. The city of Shasta is destroyed 100%. There is no standing building there. The places we love so much, I cannot say loved, we still love them, are now dead. But the worst thing, that our people are dying every day. Thank you for supporting Ukraine. That's great that you're standing for us. So please don't give up. Please continue helping. Please continue talking to your government, stating your positions, talk to a friend. The more information is spread over there, the less this topic is become forgotten, because now many people are tired of war. I'm tired of war myself, but for me it's about life and death. So please don't get tired. Please keep going, keep doing what you're doing, keep sharing what you know about Ukraine. And that will help to stop this war, that will help to stop killing people here, and that would prevent such happenings in future. That's how we can make the earth a better place for the next generations. Thank you for staying with us. Peace to Ukraine. Slava Ukraini. Goodbye for now.